Hi friends, thanks for joining me today. Today's a Vinyasa flow and I'm going to keep it short and sweet with a theme of twists, my favorite. So grab some water, play some fun music that you want to move to, and meet me on the mat. Hi friends, thanks again for joining me for this twisty Vinyasa flow. We're going to start seated today, so come on down to the mat and have a seat in a comfortable cross-legged position. And then taking a second to find the sitting bones so that we can sit up nice and tall. Let's bring the shoulders up, down and back, and revolve the palms up. We'll take a deep breath in through the nose and out through the nose. Let's do that again a few more times. Just a deep breath in, exhaling it all away. Maybe closing your eyes on the next exhale. Just settling down from your busy day. Treat this time as a little buffer in between the day that you've had and our time on the mat. We want to pause and notice how we're feeling today, how we've been getting along, and even how our breath is going. And we notice all these things so that we can take care of ourselves when we get to flowing on the mat. Let's start to deepen the breath by matching the inhale to the exhale. And finding a natural pace with it, not rushed. And then from there, we also want to start inhaling in a way where we fill the lungs from bottom to top. So this breath, this steady, deep breathing, this is what we want to keep returning to over and over and over while we're on the mat today. And as far as an intention goes for you today, keep breathing, keep your eyes closed. I'm going to read you this short little paragraph. We cannot always control what happens to us, but we always have the power to leave any situation feeling stronger and wiser than we were before. There is an education waiting for us within all of our experiences. We just have to decide what we do with it. Choose to allow what you go through to fuel your growth rather than stunt it. And that is a nice little focus for us today. Grow through what you go through. Let's bring our hands to heart center in front of the chest, prayer position. Let's have one more breath here. Grow through what you go through and gently open the eyes. On an inhale, let's reach the arms all the way up. Reach, 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 tall, tall, tall. Exhale, flow out and come back into your prayer pose. Let's do that 2 more times. Inhale, we reach. Exhale, we flow back to prayer pose. Grow through what you go through. Awesome. On an inhale, let's reach all the way up. As we exhale, let's twist to the left, looking over the shoulder. Inhale, rising back up to neutral. Exhale, twisting to the right. Let's start to match this up with our own breath. So moving with your breath, inhale, rise to neutral, and exhale, twist gently. And just keep going a few more rounds. So since this is a Vinyasa flow today with a theme of twisting, let's think about how we twist right off the bat. Anytime we twist, we want to twist with neutral hips. Stable hips, hips that don't shift around, hips that aren't involved in the twist. And then from there we have a tall spine, supportive core muscles, and we twist from the belly up. So say right around at the belly button, that's where we want to start our twist. And then just continue the twist up, working the obliques. Let's finish twisting to the right, eventually rising up and coming back to neutral, resting prayer pose. Nice job. Have a deep breath in. Exhale, let it go. We'll ease to all fours. So come on to all fours, placing hands right under the shoulders, knees right under the hips. On an inhale, let's aim the tailbone up, lift the heart for cow. Exhale, start at your tailbone, point it down, round into cat. Inhale, come back into cow pose for length of the spine, and exhale, take it back to cat. Start to move with your breath again. So you're listening to your own breath and your own pace. Gently going back and forth with cat and cow, which we want to feel really nice in cat and cow. Gentle back extension and gentle back flexion. Let's have one more of each. Exhaling, finishing in a cat stretch. Then releasing to neutral all fours. So resetting the pose, we want to have really strong shoulders. So not sagging into the shoulders like I'm doing right now, and not letting the shoulders rise like a shrug, but pulling shoulder blades back and lifting up and out of them to keep your shoulders safe. From there, let's inhale, lift the right arm, rotate, have a little twist. Exhale, bring it right back down, plant that palm. Inhale, lift the left arm. Exhale, bring it down, plant that palm. So we're flowing with our breath again. So again, pay attention to your own pace and your own breath. Match it up to that. And then we come back to those guidelines that I already mentioned for twisting. So we want to keep the hips neutral, and we want to keep them stable. And we want to make sure they're not getting involved in the twist. They don't shift side to side. They don't tilt. They're neutral. And then we want to start our twist at the belly area, working our way up in a gentle way. And that's worth noticing too, that we don't want our twists to be painful. We want them to feel nice. Let's finish lifting with the left arm whenever that time is for you. Coming back to neutral all fours. Then we're going to add to this. On an inhale, let's lift the right arm again. This time, exhale, counter twist, thread the needle, bring the back of the hand under the left arm, thread the needle, ease down to the shoulder and side of the head, but no pain there. Inhale, lift back up, twist, open. Exhale, thread the needle. One more time. Inhale, twist. Exhale, counter twist. We'll come to all fours. We'll do the other side. Inhale, lift the left arm. Exhale, thread the needle. So we glide the back of the hand underneath, coming down to the shoulder, side of head. Inhale, lift back up, twist. Exhale, thread the needle. And one more time. Inhale, lift off. Exhale, thread the needle. We'll come to neutral all fours and we'll walk our way out into a kneeling plank. So shift forward, get those shoulders nice and strong again, no sagging in them, and then pull your core into. Now if we want to, we can have full plank, tuck the toes, lift the legs, and we're pressing through the heels if we're doing that. So pick whichever version you want today, have a breath, and then on the next exhale for you, let's take it to downward facing dog. Let's lift the hips. Let's bend the knees to start with. Aim the tailbone up in the air. Pull the shoulder blades down the back. Again, we're always concerned with shoulder stability to keep them safe. And then let's bend one knee, press the other heel down. Alternate, gently switching sides a few times. Bringing a little length to the back of the legs. Don't forget your breath. Come back to that breath. Inhale matches the exhale. And then settling back to downward dog, aim the tailbone up, lengthen the back. On the inhale, let's come back into plank or kneeling plank, whichever one we wanted, and then take it back to downward dog again. Inhale, flow forward. Exhale, take it to downward dog. Inhale, flow into your plank. Exhale, take it to downward dog. And one more time, inhale, flow to plank. Exhale to downward dog. We'll come down for a little bit. Let's flow into plank, lower the knees, stabilize your shoulders, and then shift and ease down to the mat. Elbows hug your rib cage. Let's have a breath when we get down. And then on an inhale, pull that core in. Reach your arms out in front of you in a Y, like the letter Y. With your core braced, let's lift off into this version of locust pose. On the next exhale, let's pull the elbows toward the rib cage, working the back muscles and shoulder blades. You can hold this if you'd rather and just keep breathing, or we can flow in and out of these. If we want to flow, we'll inhale, come back to the letter Y. Exhale, letter W. Inhale, reach out. Exhale to W. Inhale, take it back to Y, reach. Exhale, pull down. One more time. Big breath in. Exhale. Good. Come down to the mat. Palms to the mat. Elbows near the rib cage. Press up carefully. Take it back to your child's pose. When we get to child's, let's just have a breath. We want to let the rib cage expand on the inhale and relax on the exhale. We want to let the face relax, the back muscles relax, let the spine round. On the next inhale, let's walk hands back out in front of us, extended child's reaching through the sides of the body. And then tuck the toes. Inhale, lift the hips to downward facing dog again. Good, have a breath. And then step to a forward fold. Let's place feet hip width apart, parallel to each other. On an inhale, swan dive up. Keep your spine long and active. Reach up. Exhale, let's come into chair pose. Send the hips down and back. Keep the spine tall. On an inhale, sweep up. Exhale, start your squat at the hips. So we want to hinge from the hips rather than rounding in the spine. So imagine you have a yardstick tied to your back. It's going to prevent any rounding. That's how we want to treat our spine right here. A nice long spine. So we're working the core muscles and the back muscles. So don't forget about that. Core and back. It's not just the legs. One more time. Let's come down to our squat. Good. Let's inhale, rise. Come back to chair pose. We're going to add to it. Let's get down to our best chair. And then let's twist gently to the left. Keeping the spine tall. Trying not to round. And trying not to hinge over so far. Nice chair pose. Inhale, rise up. Let's do the same thing other side. Let's find chair. Tall spine, and then let's twist to the right. Feel the obliques working. Let's start to move with our breath a few times. Inhale, let's lift off. Reach up high. Exhale, twisting chair to the left. Squeeze those obliques. Inhale, rise. Exhale, twisting chair to the right. Feel the core work. So as we move with our breath, hinging from hips, twisting, using the core muscles, let's remember those guidelines of a twist. So we want hips to stay facing forward. We want to twist from, say, the belly up. And we want to keep the spine long, tall, and supported. Let's have one more per side. Big breath in. Finish on the right. Inhale, let's come up. Exhale, rest. Ooh, good job. Let's step out wide. Toes out naturally. Feet grounded, core pulled in. Good posture. Let's have a big breath in. Exhale, let's come down to a wide-legged squat. So sitting the hips down and back, same thing. Hinging from your hips, so a tall spine, a supported spine. Inhale, let's rise. Exhale, let's pull down to those W arms again, kind of pulling elbows toward the rib cage. Inhale to that Y position. Exhale, W. So we're working the back muscles and the shoulder blades. Let's do this 2 more times. Pull down as you squat. Everything's active. Last time, and hold the squat, but not your breath. Now maybe reaching out in front of you, palms together. Make sure you're breathing. Inhale, open those arms, squeeze the shoulder blades together. A lot of work in the shoulder blades. Maybe let's come up to the toes. Let's find our breath again. A deep breath in, and exhale, release the heels. Maybe we reach up through the arms. On an exhale, bring the left arm down, right side stretches. On the inhale, rise up, bring the right arm down, left side stretches. Inhale, let's bring both arms up. Exhale, rest. Good. Let's walk feet together. Step back to face the short side of your mat, finding that mountain pose again. Let's have a deep breath here. Coming back to the breath and our intention. Grow through what you go through. On an inhale, let's sweep the arms overhead again. As we exhale, swan dive. Hinge from your hips. Keep your back active and supported. All the way down to forward fold. And then let's step back to downward facing dog. Lifting the hips up high. Palms planted. Back is nice and tall and supported. Shoulders are active. Okay, option 2, lift your left leg up in the air on an inhale. And then exhale, hug it through, stepping forward into a lunge. Let's think about our lunge here like we do with plank modifications. We can keep the back knee lifted or we can lower it depending on how you feel today. Every day is different. So pick your version out and then plant your right palm, stabilize your right shoulder. Inhale, sweep the left arm up into a twist without letting the hips move. Now bring it down, tap the outer left foot. Inhale, open. Exhale, come back down. Inhale, twist. Exhale, ease it down. Let's do it one more time. Inhale, twist. Ease back down. Look forward. Have a breath. On an inhale, rise up into a crescent lunge, pressing through your back heel. Lifting the back knee just a little bit to give you a little more support. And then open up the same way. Let's reach the left arm out and just rest your right hand on your right thigh. Now, if this is too much, if this brings strain to your spine or is too hard on your balance, you can put hand on hip. Lots of modifications. On an inhale, let's reach all the way up. Exhale, flow back down. Step to plank pose. So if you'd like side plank today, we'll start to shift weight to the right hand and we'll really support that right shoulder, making sure it feels ready for it as we open up into a side plank. There's always an option to lower your bottom leg in a side plank. In this case, it's the right. So pick if you need that version or pick if you need this version. Remember, every day is different. We can hold or we can add some ab work to this with a little rotation. If we'd like to do that, let's exhale, kind of thread the needles sort of. We reach under the armpit area and we lift the hips a little bit. Inhale, side plank. Exhale, lift the hips. Inhale, side plank. Exhale, lift the hips. Inhale, rise, stabilize, get your balance, and come back to plank pose. Have a breath, and then exhale to downward facing dog. Good. Have a breath in your downward dog. Stabilizing shoulders, pulling in your core. And then option 2, lift your right leg up on an inhale, and then hug it underneath you, step it forward into a lunge, right side forward. So we can lower the knee again if we want to, or we can keep that knee lifted. You pick. Let's plant the left hand. Inhale, lift the right arm, have that nice twist. Exhale, come down, tap the foot. Inhale, sweep open, twist. Exhale, come down. 2 more times at your own pace with your breath. Noticing how this feels in your back and your spine. And on that last exhale, easing down, getting your balance looking forward. On an inhale, rising up for crescent lunge. We want to bend the front knee and stack it right over the ankle if possible. We press through the back heel. And if we want to, adding in that twist for balance today. So we'll cross the left arm diagonally across the body and open the right arm back. Option to place it on the hip if you'd rather. Choose the version that works best for you today. On an inhale, come back up, crescent lunge. Exhale, sweep it down, step to your plank pose. Side plank, other side if you want it. We'll start to shift to the left hand, stabilize the left shoulder, find side plank. Option to lower the right knee directly under the hip if that helps you for your side plank today. So if you want to add in those rotations, let's inhale, reach up. Exhale, rotate, reach kind of under the armpit area, lift the hips. Inhale, come back to side plank. Exhale, feel that oblique work. One more time. Inhale, lift. Exhale, squeeze, lift the hips. Let's inhale, rise, find your side plank. Come back to regular plank. Lower the knees. Exhale to child's pose. Have a breath. And then inhale, coming back up to your knees for camel pose. When we get to the knees, let's think about stabilizing the spine again. So we want to squeeze the glutes. We want to squeeze the core. We want to have nice posture. All right, so for camel pose, it's a back bend, but we're going to do like a baby version of it today because we've been focusing on twists, not so much on back bends. All right, so let's think of placing fists at the bottom of the spine, at the flat part. That's your sacrum. We want to just lightly place the hands there, keeping everything engaged still. Glutes, core, back is nice and tall, spine is supported. Let's start to draw shoulder blades closer together. So you're working those shoulder blades. And we think of pulling elbows closer together too. Let's find our breath, making sure we feel strong and stable right here, supported. If we want to take this further, on an inhale, we'll lift the heart just a little bit. We can look up or we can look out in front of us if we want, but we don't want to feel strain at the neck. So wherever you're looking, sort of give your chin just a little bit of a tuck. And then just think of lifting your heart. On every inhale, lifting the heart a little bit more. And on the exhale, just trying to maintain that height that you achieved. So again, we're not taking this into too much of a back bend today. We're treating this more of like a nice back extension and stretching across the front of the body. Let's have one more breath here. And start to ease up very gently. Relax the arms. Have a breath, and take it back to child's pose one more time today. Just have about 2 or 3 deep breaths in your child's pose. On the inhales, we let our rib cage expand. On the exhales, we let our back muscles relax. Let's have one more breath here. Exhale, relax. On your next inhale, let's start to ease back up to all fours pose, and then come down to the hips with legs out in front of you, or a seated place on the mat. We'll find those sitting bones again, sitting up nice and tall. We'll have a big breath in, and as we exhale, hinging from hips to stretch the hamstrings. So in a seated forward fold like this, we want to gently stretch the hamstrings, ease into it. If you go too fast, it's not nearly as efficient. So we ease into it. We also want to feel lengthening at the low back. We're coming back to our breath, matching the inhale to the exhale. And in yoga, we use a lot of breathing techniques. One that'll help you in deep stretches is the sinking breath. And that means on an inhale, we have a full inhalation. And on the exhale, we let ourselves sink into the pose a little bit more. And we do it in a really mindful way, listening to the body as you increase your stretch. So in our forward fold, we don't want to totally just slump over. We want to have some sort of activity in the back, protecting the spine. Let's have one more breath with that sinking breath technique. On the inhale, let's hinge up. Exhale, relax. I'll turn to face you. We'll have a couple more stretches before we close our practice. Let's bring the left leg under the right. So right knee is up in the air. We're on the sitting bones. We'll put the right hand behind us, left arm reaching forward. Have a big breath in, lengthen the spine mindfully, and then exhale, twist toward the knee, hug it to your chest. and maybe even look over your shoulder. So we're checking in with the body. This is our deepest twist that we've done today. We want to be mindful and make sure it feels really, really awesome on your back. We want to make sure there's no pain and that you can still breathe easily. Let's inhale, lengthen the spine. Exhale, ease back out to neutral. And if it's comfortable, try it out. Maybe stacking your knees. If it's not, taking it to an easy seated pose, like a cross-legged pose. If you are trying to do this stacked version, it's just a hip stretch, but we want to make sure that we can still be on the sitting bones evenly. So sit up tall, whichever version you're in. And let's bring the left arm up, bend at the elbow, stretch the tricep very gently. Still able to look forward, trying not to totally round and lose alignment like I'm doing right now, but to keep your gaze forward. If you want to stretch the other side, bring your right arm down, the back of the hand grazes the lumbar, and then we just reach fingertips for one another. So cow face pose, this is not one to force on your shoulders at all. What we're more concerned with, rather than fingers meeting, is can I point my top elbow up and can I point my bottom elbow down? Let's have one more breath in. And as you exhale, gently release, gently, and relax. All right, same two poses, other side. Let's bring the right leg under the left. Left knee is up in the air, and we're on the sitting bones. Let's bring the left hand behind us. Stabilize that shoulder, and reach forward with your right. Have a big breath in. Exhale, twist. Hugging that knee to your chest so that you feel a stretch deep in the left hip too. Let's notice our breath. We want the inhale to match the exhale. I want to make sure that this twist feels really nice. There's no pain. On an inhale, let's bring length to the spine. And on the exhale, let's untwist. Again, trying out this version, you might find that one side is a lot easier than the other. If you're still able to stack and be on your sitting bones, then you're good. If not, then maybe make it to an easy cross-legged pose. This time, let's bring the right arm up, bend at the elbow, and stretch through that right tricep just gently. Gaze is forward, spine is tall, breath is steady. We're letting our breath start to even out again and maybe even slow down a little bit. Heart rate coming down. If we'd like to add in the other arm, bringing the left arm, the back of the hand grazes the back, and then of course reaching for one another, but don't force it. Noticing our breath. On an exhale, easing out with your arms and coming to an easy cross-legged pose. On the sitting bones, tall in the spine, shoulders back. Good. Let's tuck the chin down to the chest. Let's roll the right ear toward the right shoulder. Let's roll it back down to the chest. Let's roll it over to the left side. And back down to the chest. On an inhale, bringing the head and the neck and the spine into neutral. On an inhale, let's reach the arms overhead, bringing our practice to a close. Exhaling, hands to prayer pose in front of the heart. We'll take a deep breath in. Exhale, close the eyes. Relax the face. Letting your breath be normal. Just relaxing. Taking that intention with you the rest of your day, that no matter what your day throws at you, We can choose to be wiser and stronger from it and grow through what you go through. And the light and life in me honors the light and life in you. Namaste.